With Jared Sandler, his appearance here on Sports by Brooks on Fancred is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. And right now, Garrett is the second favorite to be the coach of the Panthers based on the
Ooh.
MyBookie.ag odds. What are your thoughts about that?
I definitely think he gets snatched up shortly after he gets.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. And
Really?
yeah, I do. And listen, I don't.
Giants, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there'll probably be multiple teams, and here's why. I don't know. I don't think he's a good coach, and I think that the game has passed him, and he's got to catch back up to the game, right? Because he does things that it's kind of like Mike McCarthy. Someone was asking me about Mike McCarthy. Listen, when Mike McCarthy led the Packers to the Super Bowl, he was a really good coach, but then the game evolved in a way that he did not, and all of a sudden his offense became predictable and antiquated, and that's kind of what Jason Garrett's got. But I do think that there are teams that are going to look at Jason Garrett and teams that maybe haven't had any sort of stability in that role and say, well, listen, did this guy achieve everything he probably wanted to with the Cowboys? No. But he was also the head coach there for 10 years and had one or two losing seasons. We'll roll the dice on Jason Garrett. I wonder if people look at him as a safe play. But I definitely think if Jason wants to coach next year, he will coach, because I think what I had this conversation here on Fancred last night with Kevin Turner when we did the fourth quarter show. You take a step back. It's easy to sit here and say, well, Jason Garrett's such a horrible coach. But then you take a step back and do an inventory on the rest of the league. There's some awful coaches in the NFL, or guys who relative to the best coaches are awful and maybe don't belong as head coaches. And I don't know that Jason doesn't belong as a head coach. I think that a part of what Jason does best is you mentioned motivate, get guys to play for him. And I just think that if that's your best quality over 10 years, that's going to run thin. It's going to dry out. And I think that his message, especially for some of the guys who've been around, is just going in one ear and out the other. You put him in front of a new group. Maybe he's able to, in a different situation, reassess. He's a smart guy. He'll let you know he's smart, but he is smart. Maybe, he's kind of dug too deep with the Cowboys. Maybe he gets a change of scenery. He is able to get up to speed with the way the game's evolved. I don't know. But I do think that several worse candidates out there than Jason Garrett. I just don't know if he's the guy that's going to get you a Super Bowl. But I also think there are a lot of organizations out there who would be happy with a guy that just makes their franchise competitive once again. And I think he can do that.